Hello, everybody. Hope the sound is okay. Would be nice if someone could let me know if this sounds all right. Hello, welcome to the 5th round of the European Women's Chess Championships with Diana playing today against a girl from Germany, Luisa Bashilina. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce her name. She is, I think, Ukrainian. Has Ukrainian roots. Hey Dermot, how's it going? What time do you call this? Yeah, it's pretty early. Pretty early. For once, only 15 minutes late to the game instead of... Yeah, Germany boo. We don't like the Germans here. We don't like them at all. Okay, so... yeah, her opponent playing the O'Kelly, Sicilian. We can go through the game real quick. Diana prepped this. Her opponent already played this same line in a game earlier against another German, Josefine Heinemann. And Diana was definitely ready for this. She prepped this line. Although I can see now her opponent deviated. So it went e4, c5, and knight f3. And then instead of one of the more common variations, like e6 or d6 or knight c6, her opponent went for a6, the O'Kelly variation. Diana went for c4, the Maroczy bind, knight c6, d4 break, and e5, knight f5, d6, knight c3, g6, knight e3, bishop h6. So far this was all preparation. Bishop e2, still preparation. Here this was actually an interesting move. You're losing my swan-like neck. Oh no. Oh, JK, I'm not sure about the Discord notification. Let me just quickly log into Discord. I can maybe do one manually. That's gonna bring the people in. Okay, so there was one game here. It was a decision between bishop e2 and bishop e3 in this position. There was a Magnus game that went bishop to d3, but Diana preferred the bishop e2 line that is less popular with the super GMs, but it was played by her opponent's first round opponent, and she lost in that line. So I guess Diana went for this, wanted to get into the same kind of position. Her opponent played knight g to e7, which not a great move. I don't think this was our preparation. I think the preparation went knight to f6. I think that's what she played, or at least the knight ended up on f6 at some point. I'm not sure if it was exactly now, but anyway, this is a deviation already. So her opponent deviated on move 9 from her previous game, I believe. We can just quickly check that later. I do have the file open still. We can compare if there's any interest. You hate the O'Kelly variation. Why do you hate the O'Kelly variation, Paul24? To play against or to play with? I think all these positions should be really good for white. All these Maroczy bind positions, maybe not super easy to play, but probably advantageous. Okay, so the game went knight e to d5. I don't like that move, I must say. I don't like the move because I think a big part of this actually is that black wants to trade off this dark square bishop pretty early for white's dark square bishop, and I think we're making it a bit easy here. And also putting the knight in center first, I think delaying that and playing castles here, or maybe knight c2 is a common move, because then we trade off the bishop, but at least we get some knight maneuverability for it. But okay, I guess because this was not the line she played earlier, Diana wasn't quite sure what to play here, so she played knight to d5 and knight e to d5, and her opponent played knight takes. And here, well, we have several options. We could take the bishop, we could take the knight here, we could take the knight here, we could take the knight here. So Diana's been thinking for 6 minutes at this point, and I expect her to maybe think a little bit longer, because this is definitely a decision that will have long-term consequences. I imagine all of the moves are like okay, but definitely there needs to be some thought put into this, because it's going to have long-term implications for how the position is going to look like. This might look nice, but I think without the dark square bishop, if black doesn't have this dark square bishop, that's a liability for them, and white doesn't have their dark square bishop in return, I think this should be okay for black, and black is probably equalized here, I would imagine. I mean, the knight looks good, but black's gonna get the same kind of knight there, and yeah, I don't love this. I don't love this, because if we had, while we had still our knight on c2, that was never, of course, possible for black to do. So I think this opening, it didn't quite go like Diana had hoped, for sure. This deviation, and oh, well, never mind, okay. She didn't take anything yet, never mind. Okay, sorry, I thought she took, but she didn't take anything yet. We can think about this. Looks like you want to play only yourself without giving any counterplay. Unfortunately, not always possible. Well, well, I mean, I think in this particular opening, you can get some very good positions where black doesn't have much choice. I'm not exactly sure. Like this line that her opponent plays, I think it's a bit dodgy, to be honest. So Diana, I think, was very happy that she went into this, but I'm not sure she's going to be too happy with the position that came out. And I mean, the problem here now is if we take with the e-pawn, then there might be some expansion, and this might be nice for black eventually to get these f5, e4 moves in, and then maybe even think of casting queenside in the long term. I mean, dreamland for now, but these things could happen. If you take with the c-pawn, you are still attacking the knight, but the knight comes to a good square. Well, of course, you would have to take the bishop first, I guess. So black would, I guess it would be knight, bishop, take the knight, and take the bishop here. We would have to take the bishop, otherwise we get forked on b2. And then knight to d4. And here, I mean, black must be doing okay. I can't imagine white having much of an advantage in this variation. Exchange dark square bishop in order to attack d6, of course, you can't control d4 anymore. Yeah, of course, yeah, I mean, this is a trade-off for sure. That would be a trade-off, but yeah. I mean, attacking d6, I mean, I guess you mean taking the bishop now, so we keep this line here open. That maybe to me looks like the most ambitious try, but then after knight takes, you are stuck with this slightly awkward pawn structure. So your bishop is sort of a little bit blocked in as well by your pawns. Your bishop isn't brilliant here. Maybe you could think about this kind of thing at some point. And even though this pawn structure doesn't look so brilliant right now, at least this pawn does control the d4 square, and also I guess the b4 square, so it does take away some squares. And if you get castled, there's definitely some stuff going on here for white. Still, definitely an interesting position. So if I had to choose, that's maybe what I would go with personally. Bishop takes h6 looks, on first glance, yeah, it looks the most promising to me, to my eyes. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Waterford Wizard, yeah, bishop takes bishop. I'm going out of the frame, sorry. Okay, there you go. You can see me fully. Dermot, I know you want to see me in my full glory. I can appreciate that. You think whatever Stockfish tells you to think. And what does Stockfish tell you to think in this position? What does Stockfish tell you? I'm not really sure. Probably Stockfish says zeros, I would imagine, but I'm not sure. Maybe, I mean, this could, I don't believe that black would walk into this. I imagine that black is still in prep here. Diana is not in prep anymore, because this is a dodgy line that black played. I think, sorry. I think this is a bit of a dodgy line that black played with knight to e7. I think if you go knight c2 now, because now the knight isn't even on f6, so it's not even attacking this pawn, so you can, in fact, after playing this, you can go here, and then if you take then, you can take here, and the knight doesn't have this square, because the knight on c2 is covering that, so I think knight c2 would have been nice here. But okay, I mean, I've never played these positions myself, so I only know what we prepped today. She also had some advice from some very good players, so but I don't think they covered this line. I don't think this came up. So Diana's on her own now. But okay, let's see. So she played bishop takes h6. I like it. I like it. I like that she did that, playing ambitiously. Let's just make this the main line for a second. So she took on h6 with the bishop. Her opponent took on c3, as she had to, and b takes c3. Okay, so now we still have this pressure against this pawn. We do have some ideas of g3 and this maybe someday to get rid of our bad bishop, or we just keep the bishop here. If Luke was here, he'd probably scream at me for even suggesting that. I don't know if Luke's gonna come in today, by the way. Haven't heard anything. Maybe he was surprised himself that I came on so early. Wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't quite ready. Also, I think I will have to go at some point. I might not be able to cover the full game because I have to teach some lessons. So Diana will have to make it a quick game or a really long game. Either one would work. So I will have to leave at 5:30, so 2 hours from now. Well, actually a little bit earlier, I guess. But my lesson's at 5:30. So yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe h4 in some moment. Okay, h4, h5, I guess. Black can't play. No, I'm teaching JK. I'm teaching some kids. Teaching the young generations how to play chess. Yeah, h4 definitely, because actually now that I think about it, there might be some idea of black trying to play g5 to trap this bishop at some moment, like g5 queen f6. Maybe g5 h4 is necessary if black should play g5 right now, because you play g5 and then something else like queen d2, for example, attacking the pawn, they could just play this, and then your bishop would be possibly in a bit of trouble. I could imagine that that would be good for black. Yeah, definitely, Waterford Wizard. I'll give everyone the link as well. And I guess we're gonna rate the official commentary as well, so Diana's game might still get covered on that channel, or I don't know, maybe we'll somehow manage to get Luke to go live. I actually know he has to go as well, so yeah, we'll see. But maybe just Diana will just mate her opponent sooner than that, so we don't have to worry about that at all. So her opponent now, okay, hold on, she played something. She played bishop e6. Natural move, I suppose. Didn't want to go for this g5 idea. Maybe she didn't consider it, or maybe she thought it wasn't good. Yeah, Diana had to play up every round. I mean, she'll probably have to play up in most of her rounds, unless, I mean, if she loses today, she might not have to, but we don't want that, of course. And I think she really likes playing up, actually, so she appreciates playing higher-rated players, not only for the experience, but I think she likes those games better. I think it makes for better games. She thinks also she plays better against high-rated players, as she plays sort of to the level of her opponent sometimes. And I think even on stream you can see this. When she plays her 2300 opponents, she plays, let's say, much better than when she plays 1600s. h4 to avoid queen h4. Okay. Queen h4, yeah. That might be a move. That's true. So why wasn't queen h4 a move the last move? I guess you can move your bishop away with tempo for one move, but then you're gonna get caught with rook g8. So let's see what happens if we play queen h4 on this move. I guess we can just yeah, well, I guess you don't have time maybe to capture here, because you're gonna get really in big trouble on the dark squares, I can imagine. There must be something that wasn't. Yeah, okay, it attacks e4, but I'm not so sure. I mean, can't we just give up this pawn? What does black do here? I think this looks very dangerous. I mean, black can't castle. f4 is coming. f4 or rook e1. If you get rook e1 in, and then you get your bishop out of the way, and then f4, I mean, everything in the center is coming under attack really quickly. Yeah, I mean, I think this is very dangerous for white. I'm not sure what you even play here. I mean, if you play some natural developing move like this, you're gonna get hit by e1, I guess. What happens if you just play f4 right away? Like, it's very hard to suggest moves here for white. Like, nothing really defends very well. I mean, I think I would definitely give that pawn up quite gladly for this attack. I think this white would love this position. So I don't think queen h4 was a thing yet. Is it a thing now? If you, let's say, play castles instead of h4, is it a thing? I don't think it is, because actually you already played the move you wanted to play anyway, and I don't think it matters where the bishop goes really. So I think you just can still do this, and if queen takes e4, I think you're going to be in deep trouble with white. You could just play f4 right away, or maybe something like this. I'm not exactly sure, but I mean, this must be very, very good for white. Oh, hello, a big raid, chess coach Andras. Thank you very much. This is not Diana here, as you might have noticed. Diana is playing in her 5th round of the European Women's Chess Championships. Let me just quickly figure out how to give a shout out. I'm not a streamer person, so oh, thank you, Dermot. Dermot already did the shout out. Thank you very much for the raid. I hope you had a good stream. We're just commentating on Diana's game. Maybe you can let us know what you think about this position. We can just quickly show the opening, how the opening went for everybody who came in now. So this was Diana's preparation for now. I mean, she played e4. Her opponent plays the O'Kelly Sicilian. She already played this in round 1 of the tournament and lost. So we were, of course, expecting her to deviate from the opening she played in round 1 at some point. But so far, so standard. The moves, this is all main line. Bishop h6 and bishop e2. This was a decision for Diana. I think most super GMs played bishop d3. I think So has games. Le Quang Liam has games. Magnus has a game there with bishop d3 as well. But Diana decided to play what her opponent's first round opponent played. So she played bishop e2, staying in the same line, liking what her opponent got. And then her opponent deviated, playing knight e7 instead. And then Diana played knight d5. We weren't a big fan of that move, knight e to d5. I think we discussed that knight to c2 might have been better. Knight to c2 might have been better, just so after trading we can do something like this, and then now the knight could come in here, whereas if we play knight c2, we keep control of the square, so we can eventually jump our knight in, and if the trade happens, we can prevent this knight from jumping in here, which would be nice, and then the structure would probably be decent for us. But yeah, that didn't happen. Also, her opponent not putting the knight in here also takes off pressure of the e4 pawn, which is especially odd because bishop to d3 wasn't played. So a little bit puzzling, that move, but okay. Played it kind of normally, I guess. Maybe these moves are pretty intuitive, I guess, for both players. And then Diana played bishop takes h6, a lot of options available here. You can take with this pawn, the knight, or you can take the bishop right away. I think we all didn't like this very much, because, as we said, the knight gets in here. Same story with this, I guess, but even maybe a little bit worse, because f5 might be coming, and then black might get some easy plan of kingside expansion. But that's not what Diana did. Diana captured on h6 first. Her opponent took on c3. And we got the structure where this knight for now is being blockaded, is being shut out by this pawn on c3. It's a doubled pawn, but it's doing a nice job. Black can't castle for the moment either. We might have some plans of an attack on the king side or in the center. They still have this weak d6 pawn without the dark square bishop to defend it, so I think there's still definitely some things to be happy about for white. So yeah, our opponent played bishop e6, and then, oh no, we didn't castle yet. So that's all the moves we had so far. I'm just gonna delete these real quick. Yeah, those are all the moves we've had so far. And well, I think it isn't quite as good as what we could have gotten out of the opening, but it's definitely not bad. I think we have some aggressive intentions, and we all know that's kind of what Diana likes anyway. About these doubled pawns, I mean, there might be some plans, like in sort of Nimzo positions, where the knight comes here and attacks this weak pawn at some stage. But I think as long as black can't castle, that might not be a doable plan just yet. I am not a title player at Cheesy Chess. I'm just a friend of Diana's. I play chess. I have played chess for a little. Well, I mean, I've played a little bit of online chess before, but I've taken it a little bit more serious. Oh, h4. Okay, h4 was played. I've been playing chess for a little while online, but I only really tried getting decent at chess, let's say maybe around a year ago during the pandemic. But yeah, I'm not at title players level, for sure. So take everything I said with a grain of salt. If you're some of my games, well, I mean, you can check me out on Lichess, I guess. My nickname is this, Leslie17, if you want to stalk me on Lichess. I guess you can. Feel free to challenge me or something. Not now, but at some point. Yeah, okay, so Diana played h4. I like that. I think that's a good move, preventing g5 ideas. Preventing g5 ideas. Not bad at all. Also, at some point, we might want to even, if we, let's say, get queen d2 in, we might think of h4, h5 as well, just to rip open the position and go for some violence. That's the kind of thing Diana might do, or even like a g4 at some moment. But I think for now it would be a bit hasty. Yes, Theketa, bishop pair. I knew you were going to come in just for this. Hello, being bad at chess. It's the O'Kelly Sicilian. I'll just quickly show the game. If you just came in now, so A6 Sicilian O'Kelly Maroczy bind variation. So far so standard. I say that because I think that's what the prep was. Her opponent played a bit of a weird move here. I think we talked about it a couple times now. Knight e7, not our preparation. And Diana played knight d5 a little bit hastily, I thought personally, but I'm not sure. Maybe she was right to do that, but I think knight c2 might have been better. So what do you mean sorry? Of course, you can get here anytime you like, being bad at chess. Anytime you like. Luke, are you coming on? Are you coming on, or are you too busy? By the way, I know you had said you had to go at some point, but also I will have to go at some point. I might not be able to finish. Okay, eating lunch now. Yeah, okay, well, you can come in anytime. Everyone's fired. Yes. Being bad at chess is fired as a viewer. Taketa is fired as a commentator. Dermot isn't fired as mod because he's always there, reliable as ever. I can't be fired as commentator because then there would be no one left to host the stream, so Dermot and I are remaining, I guess. The dream team. Yeah, you're fired, sorry. I hate to tell you, but you're fired. Okay, so what do the clocks say? Well, Diana's at 1 hour and 10 minutes, her opponent 1 hour and 16 minutes. Slight time advantage, I guess owing to the fact that she did deviate earlier than Diana had expected, and so the opening prep war at least should have gone to her. Although I think Diana has a good position, so maybe her prep wasn't actually that great. But maybe I'm also just wrong about my evaluation. Yeah, exactly. For now, Black's king is in a bit of an awkward place. And I think this is exactly the kind of position Diana appreciates. Yeah, I think Diana will be quite happy with what she got, even though she could have maybe gotten even a little bit more, squeezed out a little bit more of an advantage than what she got, but that's okay. This cheese pawn structure, yeah, well, that's true. Our pawn structure is a bit all over the place, but on the bright side, the c3 pawn is restricting this knight nicely, and it's going to take some effort to go after this pawn because, I mean, we like the knight on c6 if we're black, I think. And it's hard to reroute it, maybe. I mean, you can route it to a5. Oh, is the stream frozen? Camera frozen. Oh, okay. My bad. Let me see what I can do about that. Okay, maybe should be back now. Let me know if it's better. Yeah, okay. I'm turning into a pro at these streaming things. I almost know how to fix stuff now. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. So yeah, as I was saying, I think eventually the knight might try to go here to attack this pawn, and maybe the rook comes in. And it's going to be hard to defend, but for now, we always have this queen a4 move, because this king is a little bit stuck in the center. Yeah, so we'll have to see what goes on. And I mean, this pawn will also require defense, so if the queen comes to b3 at some point, I wouldn't also be surprised. But I guess queen c2, queen c7 is maybe a move for black here, or queen e7, or queen d7 even, I don't know, just a queen move, just to enable the king to run away if necessary. Although then losing this c-pawn would maybe be not so much of a disaster anymore, because we could maybe just push it and rip open the position at some stage and get an attack on the other side of the board. And I think if Diana likes anything about chess, I think it's attacking. Yes, time control is 90 plus 30, and then 40 minutes after move 40. 30 minutes after move 40. What's on the line if she wins? She becomes WM or something? Or how many remaining points? Well, nothing's on the line in this round. I think only a point is on the line. In the tournament, well, technically there are World Cup seeds, Women's World Cup seeds on the line in this tournament. I think the top 10 or maybe top 15 or top 20, I don't know exactly, qualify for the FIDE Women's World Cup. So that's for the top players. I think maybe some other streamers are fighting for that. Maybe Laura, for example, fighting for a place in the World Cup. But Diana just wants, well, I mean, basically, I guess, rating point, playing some chess at a big tournament, just getting a good placement. She's ranked, I think, 103rd out of 117, I believe. So she's definitely one of the lower rated players in the event, but I think Diana always has fun playing up against high rated players, and she's also very good at it, so she can always cause trouble. I think we saw, for example, in her round one game, she was doing really well against the WJM from Azerbaijan. She let it slip in the end and actually lost, but she was completely winning for a bit there, twice. Yeah, just didn't quite manage to convert. And then she had another draw against another WGM. Well, not a draw, but like a equal end game. An opportunity to draw, I should say. And also made a slight mistake and it immediately got capitalized on. So it's a very tough field. If she could get to maybe say like 5 points or so in the 11 rounds, that would be great, and she would gain a bunch of rating, I think, if that should happen. For now, she's let some opportunity slip, and she is really excited to, or she's really looking for a win now, and she would be really happy. Yesterday as well, she had a good position against her friend Valentina, but also just didn't manage to convert, got a draw in the end. Yeah, but that's okay. Got on the board. I think that was a good result. Overall, her opponent was 2072 rated, I think, or 2012 actually rated. So over 2000. Diana got a draw. Could have got a win. I think she is quite confident still. I think she's been playing some good chess. Generally, just making some small mistakes. If we can iron those out, I think she'll score some points for sure. So yeah. Is bishop g7 worth throwing in, or is the time taken to do this not pointful? Well, I don't necessarily see the point of bishop g7 right now, because I think you do lose the tempo, and this rook, I mean, it's not at all clear to me that it doesn't want to be on g8 anyway, because like, of course you would deny kingside castle, but I'm not sure that black will castle on the kingside in this game anyway, because this bishop, how are you ever going to remove the bishop from the square? I'm not really sure how black can manage that without, I mean, it would have to be a knight, I guess, to remove it, but that's not going to happen. So I think bishop g7 would be a bit of a waste of a move, for sure. But what would be your idea behind it being bad at chess? Did I change the title? Why? What's wrong with the title? Or the WFM above my head, you mean? Or what do you mean? Easy chess. What's the stream title? Isn't it Diana's 5th round of the Euros? Yeah, okay. Bad at chess. Yeah, I don't think you need to play bishop g7 to keep black from castling pretty much forever. I mean, the only reason why, or the only time black might be able to castle is if white needs the bishop somewhere else. But I don't think the bishop can ever be forced away. Okay, it's all good, cheesy chess. Rook b1, queen a4, castles. Well, I mean, you can't castle right now, I guess, because it's gonna hang your pawn. It all feels move by move to me. I don't get what the overall plan for white is. Well, I think it somewhat depends on what black is going to do with their king. I assume that black is going to move the queen to one of these squares. I'm not sure exactly which. Maybe I would think that c7 is the most active one, because it, you know, it looks at this pawn. And it's also not behind this passed pawn. So I mean, if you put the queen on d7, I mean, long term there might be some things, of course, like if you get a rook on here, and then you always need to be careful of this pin. Very long term, of course, but like you don't want to move your queen too often anyway in the game. So before you have to, before it gets to do something useful. Okay, so queen c7 played by your opponent, which makes sense to me. Definitely makes sense to me. Now Diana could castle, or as you say, queen a4. Yeah, I mean, d6 is definitely a long-term weakness, but I guess so is c4. White has the bishop pair, that's the plan. Yeah, Luke, that's enough of a plan for you, I guess. I somewhat agree, because actually, I think in this position the bishop pair could become really good. Yeah, I can see positions maybe where you trade off this pawn for this pawn at some point. You trade off like weaknesses, but also open up the center a little bit. So black would lose their weakness. White would maybe replace that c4 pawn, and well, Einsteining, my name is Patrick. I'm a friend of Diana's. Yeah, that's me. And I think I'm about to be joined by Luke, another friend of hers, on the commentary. This black castling queenside looks risky. Well, for now, I'm not sure if black's gonna castle just yet. Black might want to wait with that for a little while, but maybe... Yeah, I mean, if you do castle right away, then there can surely be some ideas of, you know, the queen and the rook looking at the b pawn, and then maybe some... Well, white could castle kingside and play rook d1, and then all hell could break loose. Yeah, this is a position where the home prep of the ideas is really important. Well, I don't think... yeah, I don't think we got exactly to this kind of position and prep. Her opponent, yeah, I don't think this was really the plan. I think Diana sort of got, well, I wouldn't say baited, but I think she sort of got induced to play knight d5 because her opponent deviated here and played knight to e7, which is a bit of a dodgy move. But Diana, I guess, was trying to play quickly and played knight d5 instead of, I think the more common idea in these positions would be knight c2. I think that's the move in most similar positions as well. You don't actually want to rush putting your knight on d5 because any recapture is going to be awkward, and losing this knight would mean losing control of the d3 square, d4 square, I'm sorry. So yeah, I think we got a bit out of prep here by playing knight d5, and then from then on, I think the position's quite different from anything we looked at. So yeah, well, I mean, maybe not anything we looked at. Some resemblances come later, maybe, but I think it's not quite the same thing. But maybe she can find some ideas. I think especially this bishop on h6, I think that wasn't ever something that happened, like black getting rid of their bishop for a white knight wasn't anything that happened any of the positions that were prepped. Because usually they play bishop h6 and then knight c2 and they trade off the bishops, the dark square bishops. But now I think this dark square bishop is something white really needs to play around. And usually in these positions, maybe the knights are what white plays around. The position cannot be bad for white. Yeah, I agree. I don't think this can be bad at all. I think Diana should be happy with this position, especially because of the kind of position it is. Yeah, she does have the two bishops. Black can't castle kingside. Actually, I think in my mind it would not be the worst thing to even like reroute this way. And then say, well, you actually can't castle queenside for now. And then we can do things like this if black should actually be brave enough to castle, I think we can hope for some attack this way. I think she would thrive in this kind of a position. You like the idea of giving up both c-pawns? Yeah, I think that could be a plan eventually for sure. So you just like this being bad at chess? Nimzo kind of thing, yeah. Well, I think this dark square bishop that white has makes up for these weaknesses. But yeah, I definitely see what you mean. Yeah, bishop g5 is definitely an idea that appeals to me as well. I mean, you could also just castle, but I think that's maybe not what Diana would be looking to do. I think I can see her playing rook b1. I can see her playing queen a4 as well. But I don't think she's gonna castle in this position. I think that wouldn't be her kind of a move, even though I'm sure it's okay. Bishop g7 to f6. Well, I'm not sure about that actually, because I'm not sure that the rook doesn't want to be on g8. Like, actually, I prefer this, and then the knight can come back, and then you can still castle queenside. If you need to. So I don't actually agree with that, Luke. I think that would be a bit of a waste of tempo, but I might be wrong about that. Like, it allows black to play rook g8, and I don't think we need to put the bishop on f6. I think it's just as good on g5. And we can always attack the rook anyway. So we can get this tempo later if we wanted. And that, because I think that we would be happy if black castled kingside. So well, at least I would be happy, and I'm pretty sure Diana would be happy if black castled kingside at any point in this position. Seems like you need a lot of patience for the slow time control. I would just castle. Well, yeah, you definitely need a lot of patience. And by the way, like, I think there's nothing, like, I think she can be pretty sure that castling isn't bad here. But I think the beauty of classical time control is you can decide what kind of plan you want, and you can, even between equal moves, like moves that are maybe equally good, let's say bishop g5 and castles are both slightly advantageous for white, but they might be slightly advantageous for white in a very different way. So you can look at the kind of positions that come about. You can see deeper into all the intricacies. I mean, in Blitz, you might just castle here, or you might just play this, and I think both would be fine. And then you would just see what kind of position you get. But I think what the nice thing about classical is you can be a lot more deliberate and check all the small things as well. So yeah, you definitely need some patience, but not like you're gonna get bored calculating stuff. You're gonna have stuff to think about for sure. Take black and counter queen a4 with queen a5 and continue attacking on c4. Also, the counterattack on d6, rook d1 wouldn't work that well because rook d8, bishop g5, rook d7. So you're saying queen a4, queen a5. Well, I guess you're suggesting that white would take, but I don't think that would be necessarily white's move. I think maybe queen b3 would be the move, or... Oh no, I guess you can't play that because you have this, right? So okay, maybe that's not so good. So okay, maybe we would have to take it. Knight takes, and then I would guess you play c5 as black, as white, sorry. And if you take, then you win this pawn back. So I think this would be reasonable. Yeah, I don't think you want queen takes b7 because you're gonna lose your rook, but you. So if you did this and here, you're gonna be in trouble after this. Probably gonna get mated even. So that doesn't really work. But I think if you take, that should be fine. Here, c5 takes, and here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that should be okay. Although, I mean, it's probably hard to claim an advantage for white still. Like, okay, you have the two bishops, but the knight isn't... Like, the knight's pretty good. And white does have an extra pawn island, so black has these two pawn islands. White will have these three. So that's an advantage for the end game. Even though white does have the two bishops, I think it might sort of balance out. Although, I mean, this is not easy to assess for sure. Maybe black can castle queenside or something to do things with tempo. Yeah. This would definitely be a very interesting position. I think a lot can happen in this one. I'm not sure what side I would prefer. I think both sides would definitely have chances. Okay, so Luke is coming in. Let me just go to Discord. I think I would still be happy with this for white. Chances for both sides. I'm pretty sure. Yes, Luke is calling in to complain, I'm sure. I think he's probably calling in to complain to me about underestimating the bishop pair. You'll hear him in a second. I muted myself. Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I hope the chat can hear you as well. Chat, can you hear him okay? Yes, we can. Okay, brilliant.
Sweet.
We can.
Can you invite me to the study there, please?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll put you in. It's gonna be chapter 7, so this was the prep thing. Actually, I guess you cloned my study, so I'm not in it anymore. How do I even?
Sweet.
Wait, let me just make a contributor for a second. Okay, now you can move stuff.
Yeah. So this is the position. This is the live position, right?
Actually, Queen
After
A4 was played.
Live position.
Queen A4 was just played.
Yeah, these positions are really interesting. I never really have a clue what's going on here, but normally the bishop pair is pretty strong in these positions, I think, because like,
see,
black pawns are such
you.
Swiss cheese. Yeah, I mean, you know, like the bishop pair is strong, you know, it's very strong.
For sure.
I don't really like black's knight as well. Like, I mean, it'll be good later, but right now it's a bit whatever. I mean, there's not really anywhere else to put it though, so.
So what do you think of this line we have on the board?
Yeah.
So Queen A5. What else do you think Black could play? I imagine.
But after Queen A4, okay, so.
I imagine that if Diana played Queen A4, she probably looked at this line till the end. So until this end game, basically, if it should come about, like
yeah,
like if Black should take this, I guess Black doesn't have to take this.
I mean, maybe just I kind of just like castling there for white as well. I'm not really so concerned about my double C pawns. Like, I think if Black wants to spend a lot of time capturing them.
You mean castling in this position?
I'll be happy to let him, and we'll get things rolling, I guess. I mean, we have two really juicy targets on D6 and B7. Black's king is kind of stuck in the center. You know, so I think, you know, white's not too concerned. Like, you know, in some of these Nimzo lines, where you have a similar kind of idea of black going after these C pawns, the double C pawns, like most of the time, white just gives them up for a big attack. So I'm not sure if that's the same case here.
Yeah.
Very different position, but it's a similar kind of idea.
Yeah, I could imagine that being a decent idea.
Yeah. Anyway, we have Queen A4 in our game. So.
Yeah, so that doesn't seem
too
likely to happen.
You have a look at Queen A5 there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else can Black play here besides Queen A5?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Not much, really. I mean, castling queenside doesn't really make a lot of sense, I feel like.
No, I feel like that could be dangerous.
Well, maybe... Yeah.
Also, I mean, you still have like this idea of C5 at some point. I mean, you don't want to, you know, hang this, but...
Yeah.
Let's say if you get castled, or after you get castled, then C5, and this is an idea.
Yeah, let's say like Black castles here. I mean, this looks a bit silly, but...
Yeah, that looks...
Let's just have a look.
Looks a bit bold. I guess we castle as white, or...
Yeah, we castle, yeah.
We could play rook b1 maybe, but...
Yeah. I mean, white has a pretty simple plan. I bring the bishop back, rooks to the center.
Yeah, I think
C5 at some point.
I would definitely like this.
At A6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of got to work out something concrete here, but
Yeah.
I guess whenever you go c5 now, they'll just go. Excuse me, sorry. That whenever you go c5, they'll just go d5 and
Oh,
try to
thank you.
bring their rooks to the center.
Thank you, JK, for the explanation. By the way, we should maybe make a command of that. Dermot, could you maybe
Yeah, that's a good idea,
make
actually.
you could actually just copy what JK wrote and then make it a command like exclaim commentators or something. I don't know how to do it, so that would be great. Okay, thank you so much, Dermot. That would be brilliant. I guess I can put it in the
Yeah,
title as well.
No, I think the title is fine.
No, I mean like
Yeah, that's
there's a
a pretty
command.
good explanation from JK, so we'll just get a command going. Thanks, Dermot. Yeah, I think castling long here is a brave move to make. Don't think black really wants to leave their king in the center either, though. Like, someone in the chat was saying, like f6, king f7, I guess, is maybe an idea, but again, it looks a bit scary. You got to be quite brave. We're leaving the king on e8 probably makes the most sense for now, and black is just going to go like rook c8 here. Yeah. What are we? What's the idea if black just goes like rook c8?
In which position? Now or after queen a4?
After queen a4.
Well, then I guess black is never getting castled anywhere, so
yeah,
maybe we just castle and then see see later. I don't know.
yeah. You know, now I'm like,
because for now I think
kind of
nothing's really happening on our c pawn just yet. The knight doesn't really have many ways.
I'm kind of liking this move now, like f5 and bringing the queen over this way.
Oh.
But maybe, again, it's a little brave.
Wait, did you make a move on the board?
I played rook c8 and castles, and now it's black's.
Oh, I can't see them for some reason. Let me see.
Oh.
It should be synced. I'm confused. I'll just refresh for a second. Einsteini, I'm from Germany, so I guess that's my accent, but yeah.
Can you see the move I made?
Oh no, I think it messed up the. Hold on a second. I think it might have messed up the broadcast size. Yeah.
Okay, you just fix that for a sec there.
Yeah. Give me a sec. Oh, page unresponsive. Brilliant. Exactly what we like to see.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry everybody, slight technical problems with this brilliant laptop we have here.
Yeah, oh wow, king e7 played.
Whoa, king e7.
The game.
Okay, that's spicy.
We're just gonna get this this technical issue fixed.
Yeah, it's loading. I'm not sure. Nothing's really happening. But yeah, okay, we have the small board for now. So there's that. Oh wow, so king to...
Yeah, I'll just talk about it for a sec.
Yeah, just exactly.
King to e7 was played, which is a brave move. You know, now moves like c5 look a lot more attractive for white. But white should probably just get castled, I think. Like getting like yeah, like some people were saying before, you know, a lot of these games, Diana just needs to get castled.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, it's kind of
Yeah, one sec.
yeah. Take your time, take your time.
Okay, it's getting closer. We're getting closer.
Oh, thank you so much for the raid, Dragon B70. Welcome. Hope you're all having a good day. We're just trying to fix some technical issues with the board, with our analysis board. Patrick is working that. I hope you're having a good day. My name is Luke, and the guy on the camera there is Patrick. We're doing some commentary on Diana's Euros game. She's currently playing European Women's Championship in Romania. Patrick
Okay.
is there.
There we
in
go.
Romania. I'm here in Dublin. There we go. You got it fixed. Can you make it a tiny bit more to the right so people can see the notation?
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Wait, this.
So we got that fixed. So
Okay.
yeah, we were just having a look at this game. Let's just recap the game for all the people who, all the raiders, all the lovely raiders.
Oh yeah,
So
thanks a lot. Sorry, I was distracted. Thanks a lot for the raid.
No worries. So we had a this is O'Kelly Sicilian, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yes, and Diana went for the Maroxy bind variation. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very fond of the old Maroxy bind. I think it's quite a powerful pawn structure. And this was all in Diana's prep, right?
Not exactly. If we go back.
Not exactly. No, she just okay.
Okay, so we prepped for the O'Kelly,
Okay,
of
our
course.
boards are not synced up again for some reason.
Ugh.
But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, okay. Okay, now it's working for me.
Is it okay? Good. Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay, you go ahead there. Yeah.
So this was prep all until Bishop E2. I think there's some top GM games with Bishop D3 instead. So Magnus played a game there. I think Wesley So played a game there, but her opponent's first round opponent, so her opponent played this already in round 1 of the tournament, and her opponent played Bishop E2 and got a really good position. So Diana was like, okay, maybe she prepped against this, but let's do it anyway. Let's see where she deviates. And I think she deviated a little bit earlier than we had expected, so she played, because from up to here, I think that those were all best moves, I think, and now she played knight g to e7, which yeah, that was where she deviated from her round 1 game. I can just quickly show how the round 1 game went. So this was her round 1 game against Josefine Heinemann.
Oh, I think I actually saw this game.
And yeah, she played
playing Dina in this game.
No.
No.
She was playing Josefine
I remember
Heinemann.
looking at this game for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we checked it on stream for a second. Although, okay, anyway, so knight f6 was played in that game, and that's the best move, I think, and what you're supposed to be playing. So this was the deviation, and here she played knight to e7 instead, and Diana sort of, yeah, she played pretty quickly here, and so she played knight d5, which is a bit against what, yeah, against the principles of this opening, where I think you delay putting a knight here, so because black would like to capture on that square, and I think the more common move is knight to c2, keeping your knights around and eventually maneuvering one to d5 at the right moment. But okay, Diana did it right away, and it ended up in these trades where she ended up getting the bishop on h6, which makes the position quite different from all her prep. Yeah, so
Diana had me in her ear and heard the bishop pair, you know? Bishop
yeah,
bishop.
exactly. But I like that you played bishop takes h6 and not something else, because
Yeah.
I think that's definitely the most ambitious try in that position.
Yeah.
And then
we had king a7 and then white castled.
white castled. Okay, yeah, Diana
Yeah.
castled.
So king e7 is quite a brave move, I think. You know, black giving up the castling rights. But the king should be pretty safe for now on e7, especially if black ever gets to go like f6, this
Mhm.
sort of stuff. But as white here, I'm like, you know, let's bust open the center. Let's get f4. Let's get c5. You know, these kind of moves.
Yeah,
Our bishop can, you know, we can replace our bishop now on h6 because we're not so worried about, you know, stopping black getting castled. So maybe we can bring our bishop back to, let's say, like e3, and then, you know, we have the bishop pair, black's king is in the center. We want to open up the position. You know, get our rooks on these nice open B and D files and go c5 at some point. Looks like a good idea for white. But of course, you know, if we ever bring our bishop back, then maybe black just goes like rook f8 and f5 or something like this.
Yeah.
So
Are
it's
you
quite an
making moves
interesting
again, Luke?
idea.
Are you making arrows and moves and stuff?
No, I didn't
No,
make
okay.
anything. I
Okay,
just
okay.
was talking. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. See, if you scroll down a bit, see where it says like round 5, like the name of the chapter.
Yeah.
See where it says sync, is that ticked?
Um,
See just above where it says or 5.
I'm not sure.
See the title of
Oh
the
yeah,
study
yeah.
there, or
It's
5, Louisa. Yeah.
yeah. It's
Above that, like
it's clicked. Yeah.
okay.
It's checked.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so what do you think about black's position here after King E7?
Yeah, King E7. Interesting. I think I'm curious what black's plan is here with this. Because if you put the king to E7, it sort of tells me that you don't want to go for this kingside expansion with like F5 and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess you want to focus on playing against the C pawn, but I'm not sure if you had to play king E7 to do that. But I guess maybe, yeah. Maybe she wanted to prevent this kind of bishop G7, bishop F6 idea that you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And then the rook maybe has to make an extra move to get to the queen side.
Yeah, I mean, I think like at the moment it's fine. The king is okay, but I'm more worried for later on.
Yeah, exactly.
Black is gonna have to play pretty precisely, I feel, because like even just kind of cave manning this position and throwing some pawns at black center, it's pretty easy to see how white can get an attack going, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like F pawn looks very juicy in this position.
Yeah. And this is kind of the position where we can really take advantage of the bishop pair, right? If we just crack open the middle,
Yeah, for sure.
our bishops will chop this king up very easily, you know?
I like, and so I don't know exactly what you play here as black, but F4 seems like a reasonable
F4
thing.
immediately is like probably, you know, playing with the most gusto, let's say, and trying to get something going.
Yeah.
I think myself, you know, I would probably improve my pieces a little bit first and then go F4. But
like rook D1 or rook B1 or
like yeah, rook A B1, rook F D1 maybe, and
but don't you like
C5.
your rook on F1 for now if you want to play F4?
No, I think we're playing F4 to try open up the queen side more, right? We're not playing F4 to open the F file. I think going down the F file doesn't seem fruitful to me with the bishop on E6. Well, maybe
I'm
that's
not
just
sure.
wrong.
I was thinking maybe F4, and if you don't capture, I can play F5. But maybe, yeah, maybe.
I think F5 probably just helps black, actually.
Maybe that's true, yeah.
Yeah. Because now they have the G file. The king, like, I think the king is probably fine. I mean, again, it's very risky, but I really want to open up the D file and get my bishops over to like these diagonals here, right?
Mm-hmm.
kind of this stuff.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about anyway. So I'm seeing f4 as more of a tool to ah, more as a tool to open up these guys
And black could
rather
also
than
take
play
it, I
f5.
guess.
Yeah, black can take it, but then we get to play e5 later, right? So
Yeah.
or c5. I guess these are our two main kind of ideas to break this position open because well, let's say we go like f4. If we ever go f4, I guess black can just go f6, and then we can try and get c5 in. So maybe we want to put this bishop back on e3 first before we go charging in. But that's just kind of more my style of doing things, where Diana is definitely more.
Yeah, I can definitely see Diana going for the f4s right away,
Yeah.
but
I like that she just kind of castled
We'll see.
straight away as well. So,
yeah, I think
so
maybe she learned from yesterday's game.
Yeah. So we have knight a5 on the board.
Knight a5, okay.
Now c5 looks really attractive. And just like, yeah, sure, you can have all my pawns. I don't care.
But, okay, don't we want him to take with the pawn, though? If we want to play c5.
c5?
Yeah, but what if queen takes c5?
Queen takes, bishop here.
Yeah, then just
I don't think you
queen
can
back
take
to
this
c7.
pawn, right? Queen back to c7. Maybe just rook b1 here. Well, rook b1, knight b4, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, if you go rook b1, then knight here is probably pretty good, right?
Yeah, probably.
And then b5 is happening, and this is all pretty safe for black.
Yeah.
So maybe we can't do this. Yeah, if we go f4 again, just knight c4.
Okay, but then we can
knight
remove the
c4
bishop.
is a bit of a pain here.
Yeah.
Oh, if f4,
if we go
so,
f4
right
away.
Well, our bishop on e6 is hanging.
No, I meant before we do any of this. Like, if we go f4 right away, and then if knight takes, I guess.
Yeah. You're saying here if knight takes, yeah. I guess that's the plan, but I mean.
Yeah, no, that doesn't really.
This looks pretty safe again for, I mean, b5. You can always throw b5 in between all this as well, so. Yeah. So. Yeah, knight a5 is kind of an annoying move, and just kind of going to c4 no matter what.
Yeah.
Because b5 is happening anyway, right? So. Oh, b5 is happening anyway. So what about if we start with rook b1? No, I mean, yeah, b5 is kind of just clamping everything down, right? So.
Yeah, I don't think we want to have that. Let's try c5 again. Maybe there was something there.
Yeah.
We missed.
So c5. Okay, I guess like if pawn takes. Yeah, like we're pretty happy to see pawn takes, right? We can just go. We can bring the bishop back first. We can go rook. Yeah, this is like what we want to happen.
Yeah, I think we're just getting rid of the c4 pawn and getting rid of the c file is good.
Yeah. So queen takes. So can we improve on bishop e3?
Well, rook b1 right away, maybe. Rook a b1.
b1. Right. Okay, we're attacking here. So and you don't have b4. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay. So let's say we play like rook b8,
Now bishop b3.
bishop e3, queen c7. Ah, you don't have queen c7.
Yeah, because then you get forked. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So rook b1 first. Queen c7. And now we can just go bishop here, right? Because now if knight c4, well, we can't really just take it, can we? I was thinking
Maybe we can play.
queen takes, bishop takes.
Maybe we can play f4 now. Violence.
Well, our
Violence is the
bishop on
answer.
e3 is hanging, right?
No,
So-
before instead of bishop instead of bishop e3. I mean.
Okay, so f4 straight away. Okay.
I mean, this is hard to say what's going on here.
Yeah.
Definitely a bit of a mess.
Maybe black can be super greedy.
Oh, so Diana played f4, by the way.
Okay, she played f4. Okay. So f4.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. I hope she figured it
so
out.
knight takes.
She didn't spend much time.
Yeah, so knight takes obviously. Yeah. I mean, I kind of like this variation though for black.
She spent 4 minutes on this move.
Yeah, so after you take, like, if you go f5, I'm just gonna play b5 immediately, right? And then.
Yeah, we don't like that probably, I imagine.
Yeah. So if queen c7, I'll just take and then bishop here, and black's position looks really good. Like, you have the bishop pair now, but like, how are you attacking black's position? I guess you can play a5 at some point, or a4 at some point.
Yeah, I guess we're not playing f5 then.
Yeah. Yeah, f5 seems bad. So.
Yeah.
So I think whatever move we play after knight takes c4, b5 is being played.
Okay, so if we. So if we take the pawn and knight takes, is that good for them, or?
So if we take,
because it does leave the
c5.
No, you can take it immediately with check.
Oh, you can. Yes. Sorry. So, yeah. So here, if pawn takes.
Pawn takes. Yeah. I mean, we have lots of checks. We have bishop check. We have.
Yeah.
I think maybe bishop g5 looks decent.
Oh yes, because the rook is on f6. Sorry. Bishop g5 check looks very good. Yeah. I thought black would go f6 here for some reason.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, okay, that looks tasty. So let's say, yeah, so if takes, pawn takes, bishop check. Well, king here would be pretty silly. So king f8 is kind of forced. Throw this one in, I guess.
Yeah, and then we can take the knight and win our pawn back if we want.
Yeah, so I don't think you can take with the pawn. So let's say knight takes. Let's check again. King f8.
Yeah.
Bishop here.
Yeah.
g8.
Then do we have a good move here?
Now we can go after this d6 pawn pretty easily, I think. Like, just play rook d1. Well, this comes with tempi. Maybe we play
I guess
rook,
maybe we can play queen a3 or queen b4.
Queen here first. Queen b4 first. Yeah, I kind of like this position. Well, I guess maybe knight d7 is annoying.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, we can just go here, right? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, they have to move the knight, right? We're threatening to take
Yeah.
on e5, so let's say knight d7, maybe e5.
Guess they could play queen c5, maybe.
Yeah.
Or not here, I meant in the
Oh,
last
we'll just
position.
take, right? And
Yeah, okay. But here as well. Yeah, okay.
yes.
Should be good enough.
Okay, so maybe yeah, capture. So maybe we have to capture here. Knight takes, bishop check, king here.
And I can see her opponent thinking for a while in this position.
Yeah. Yeah, we throw this one in. Rook g8. Queen.
By the way, did you say you have to go?
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
At around 3:30 I have to go. So in about 45 minutes.
Okay, yeah, because I also have to go at 3:30 because, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have to. I'm going to teach a class, so
Yeah, same actually.
should be fun.
Okay, well then I guess Diana has to finish the game by then.
Yeah.
should be good.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting position. I think I kind of like this position for a while. I feel like we have a lot of play here. This rook on g8 looks a bit silly.
I agree.
The king looks very weak all of a sudden, right? Like
Yeah.
king e7 maybe was a really bad move because I was kind of missing in a lot of these lines that once we take on e5, bishop g5 check is very strong, right?
Yeah.
Now one thing we kind of didn't look at is, you know, what happens if like bishop takes? And it doesn't look very logical though, right?
Yeah, it just seems like you're
Looks like a worse version of what we just had.
taking another defender because our light square bishop wasn't really doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, you
think.
can go to e6 now.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Although, can you? No, rook
Well,
f6 check, and then you.
Oh, rook
Dead.
yeah, rook f6 is yeah. Yeah, so yeah, bishop takes is nonsense. Is there any other move besides knight takes? What if they take on e5 on f4?
Thank you for the follow, Yixu. Welcome. We're just doing some commentary on Diana's round 5 game of the European Women's Chess Championships against Luisa Bashilina. I'm not actually sure what her name is. I think German-Ukrainian. And
yeah, I guess this is also just good for us, right? Now the rook's coming to f1.
Yeah, this looks pretty nice to play. Very pleasant
Same
to play.
idea again of this check, right? F8.
Yeah, always locking the rook in there. It looks a bit silly.
Yeah, now this one is going with a lot of threats, right? Now we're threatening to chop and do everything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
yeah, let's say black plays like a silly move, like you know, like rook b8 or something. I think you can like even do this, right? Oh no, the queen defends the. I thought we had this one, and then
hold on though. Go back for a second.
Yeah, the queen defends f7, so it doesn't work.
But can't you maybe take on f7 right away with the rook?
Like rook here. Well, we give this check first, I think. Right?
No, I meant go forward a few moves.
Well, I was just saying black plays a bad move, like rook b8. Like if they play a good move, I'm not
play
sure.
rook b7 or rook b8 again, and then
yeah.
Oh no! Wait. Okay, never mind. Somehow I thought the position was different.
Oh, like rook takes, bishop takes, bishop takes.
I was thinking it in a different position, but maybe it works here as well. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks winning, right? So I don't think that works. So if black plays a rook c8, right?
No. Yeah.
Rook c8, I take. Bishop takes. You just stick with the queen. And the rook defends.
Yeah. That doesn't work anymore.
It's a good idea, though.
Maybe she can play something like that.
Maybe you can throw this one in as well, even. Like, Yeah, rook f1 and rook c8, and maybe I just go here.
This definitely
And then
looks.
my rook is on this as well.
Yeah, this definitely looks very promising. Like.
Yeah, I mean, you get a big attack here, right? This bishop g5 check, I think well, I definitely overlooked a little bit, but that's kind of the main idea here. So yeah, what if black plays f6? Did we look at this one already? No, we looked
No,
at
I
the
don't
slightly
think we
different position
did.
with f6.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, this would be pretty funny, right? If we just get a checkmate.
That would be a nice mate, yeah.
That would
It's
be
been
pretty
known
funny.
to happen.
But yeah, I mean, you just take f6. I don't know about this. Oh,
Okay.
rook here. Bishop g7 is just winning on the spot, I guess.
Oh yeah, this looks brilliant. Brilliant, yeah.
So yeah, not a lot of good moves here for
Definitely
black.
a tough
Actually,
position. Definitely tough.
yeah, I didn't really think f4 was that great at the start, but now I'm like,
And Diana played it really
this
quickly as
bishop
well.
g5 check. Yeah.
She's playing on instinct. I think we've been talking about this a little bit. And yeah, we like her instincts. Like today, we played through a game in the King's Indian attack as well, just to prep because her opponent has played the French one time as well. And yeah, she was just playing through the Karyakin game, where he made it some person and like was finding all the moves immediately as well. So I think her attacking instincts are actually really, really strong. Definitely.
Yeah.
When it works,
Oh, that's
it works.
So I guess the problem, like, I guess the queen can come to c5, but the queen is going to be stuck mining this knight if it ever comes down c4.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's hard to find a useful move for black here, right? Because if you take, like, I take, you don't have this check, right? Because after you take here, I just take your knight
Yeah.
c4. So, and if you play rook, you can play rook c8 first, I guess. And now if I take, you go check. Queen takes. But if rook c8, maybe... No, you can't throw bishop g7 in first.
Wait, so
Yeah,
we have too many
so
lines.
e takes f4 is the oh no, not this one, sorry.
We have so many lines open. Sheesh.
Yeah. Knight takes c4, f takes e5 is what we think is gonna happen.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff to calculate here for
I mean, she could also. What did we think about? Actually, that was where the rook's double. Yeah, if e takes f and then rook takes. Yeah.
We're not really worried about losing the c3 pawn Einstein. I think like if black wants to spend time doing that, we're really happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any
Also,
other
like
move?
the queen is stuck nursing this knight like all the time, right? Like if you give this check, I go here, you come here, I just capture your knight, and now queen c7 check is threatened, right? So
Yeah.
that looks very grim as well. For
That looks very grim.
yeah,
Although I guess do you have b6 in that position?
f4 is maybe like a really strong move.
Yeah.
Like, does the knight just have to come back to c6? No, I mean it's the same. Knight going back to c6 is the same as taking on c4.
Yeah.
It's going to end up on e5 anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. F4, really good move, I think. A really strong move. The more we look at it.
And her opponent has been thinking for 17 minutes now.
Yeah, I think her opponent is going to be in the tank. I mean, just us looking there's like a lot of different variations to play for, and
yeah, definitely.
I think that definitely.
And we can move stuff on the board, so we have somewhat of an advantage.
That definitely favors Diana, I think, where her intuition will just kind of bring her along, right? So
yeah, absolutely. I think this is this helps Diana for sure. Yeah, what does the chat think? I guess we're thinking it looks pretty decent, pretty
suggestions?
Dangerous for.
Yeah, of course we could be missing something. I mean, there's nothing like bishop d7 in intermezzo, right? Like, I guess like yeah, this this doesn't do anything, right? We just bring the queen back, and
Just seems like
well,
it
now the
gives us a
king can
free
go to
move.
e8, so maybe it's
Okay, but
Well, now for example, like if takes, check, king can go to e8, I guess. You
right,
don't have the pressure this way.
but now your king's back on e8, and I think now you might not get mated or anything, but now long term this must be good for white. I think the rooks are disconnected
Yeah.
again. Bishop's coming to f6 if it wants.
Yeah, rook a d1 here looks really nice for Dana.
Yeah.
Yeah, this position looks
Yeah, I mean,
really
this
nice.
looks
Black's
amazing,
pieces
yeah.
are way too uncoordinated. Yeah. And yeah, I think Diana must have been listening to me. Bishop pair, open the position, GG. Like,
Wonderful. Yes.
At least she castled. At least she castled. Yeah.
She has been listening. That's That's good.
She's like one of my 1,200 students. Just never wants to castle. Like.
Yeah, I think she definitely has been on a bit of a learning experience, like as far as her own thought processes go as well. Like in game one, she had this move where she was winning and then she missed. Well, she took right away on d5 with the bishop in game one. I mean, and instead she could have played another couple of moves that would have all just been a little bit calmer, increased her advantage without having to do the hasty thing. And I think yesterday, the way she described it, she just wanted the pawn and thought she was going to be in a good position after getting a little bit overexcited, maybe a little bit greedy or a little bit rash in certain positions where she thinks she's doing really well. And I think today she's probably feeling like that again, I could imagine.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing about these tournaments, especially when you're, like, this is why analyzing your games is so important.
Yeah.
Like, you need to, it's much easier to look at a game when you're not playing it than when you're playing it, right? When we look at this position, it's really easy for us to find ideas because there's no rating points on the line. We can take things back,
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
very relaxed. It's like, so when you finish a game, when you've played a serious game of chess, or when you've played any game of chess really, except maybe like a bullet game, it's really important to analyze your game afterwards because you need to kind of think about how you're thinking about the position. That's how we improve. You look at your thought processes, like your ideas during the game. And so far in this game, it kind of looks like a culmination of all the things that
and actually
happened in the previous 4 rounds, right?
Yeah, for sure. And also, I think actually that's something that many people do wrong when they analyze games with a computer. I think they look too much at what the good move would have been and less like why they didn't realize that was a good move. I certainly did that for a long time.
We're trying not to use the engine at all until the game is finished when we're analyzing here, because if you want to go see someone read engine lines off, I'm sure Maurice Ashley is happy to do that for you.
Yeah.
Luke. We used the engine a little bit yesterday because it was a very complicated position and we didn't have an idea what was going on. But yeah, like I always tell my students, like if you're analyzing with an engine, the engine is like a tool to assist you, right? It's not the way to analyze, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
your opponent's still thinking.
Yeah, I mean it's a very difficult position there for black.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the engine is great for like confirming if your ideas were right or wrong, right? That's why the engine is useful. So yeah. Well, ChessBS, we're here to commentate for you, and us sitting there saying, I don't know what's going on here, is not very entertaining for you, right? So
it might be. You can laugh at us a little bit.
Yeah. Doing commentary on a position and studying your own games is a different thing, right? So, when you're doing commentary, it's for fun and to entertain, and when you're doing study and learning, it's to get better, right? So there's different goals there.
Maybe we can look at some other games if our opponent's not going to make a move. I think we looked at the position quite a bit. for now. I mean, you could keep analyzing, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't see any moves to analyze.
Yeah,
I think black is going to be in the tank for a long time.
yeah. Can you imagine?
I think,
Maybe we
like
won't
us,
even
black
see the
kind of
next move anymore.
That's the hope, right? You know.
No, I meant on stream, because we're gonna have to go. Like, I'm gonna have to go in
Okay,
like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So that would be good if she's still thinking by that time.
I mean, I can say a little bit long. I can say like another hour, but I'd be really pushing it then.
I mean, I could definitely leave you on and do the lesson from my computer, and I can just mute myself.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
the
black
internet
resigning Cheesy Chess would be like the dream, right? So, someone in the chat wants to look at Lara Unik's game.
Lara Unik, okay, yeah, she's doing really well in the tournament.
Yeah.
I think she's at what, like 3 out of 4 or something, or maybe 3.5 even. Actually, 3.5 out of 4, I think. Let's see what happened in her game. E4, E6. Oh, French. Luke, tell us what's going on
French.
here.
Okay, so we've got a Steinitz. Okay, not anymore. So here in this position, okay, so this is the McCutcheon French, very spicy. I don't play this line. I take on E4 after Bishop G5, but this line is quite strong for black. Okay, we have a move on the board. We should probably go back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Going back. Bishop takes.
Because we're short on time, so.
Wait, bishop takes was played.
Bishop takes C4.
Okay, not what we were expecting, I guess.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think we were saying that it's only good for us because our bishop wasn't really doing much anyway. So if we get to trade off the bishop first, maybe that's just a benefit. Although it does free up some squares for the king.
So let's say like bishop takes, knight takes, taking on E5. This is what we saw. Knight takes.
Something happened with the board again for some reason. Sometimes I really don't understand. This thing.
Yeah, OBS is a little. Are you using OBS or what are you using?
Yeah, OBS.
Yeah, it can be a little finicky with Chrome sometimes.
Oh, okay.
You know, so.
Okay, this looks okay enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is what we saw, and then like I don't know, like King F8, and I think this is just a better version of Knight takes C4, right? Because now the F7 pawn is even weaker, right? So we put the bishop here, and
yeah, it looks like we have free play basically.
Yeah. Now the rook is coming to D1, and I imagine white is much better after bishop takes C4.
Yeah. And I mean, there's not really anything else to do. So bishop takes, and then f takes e.
Yeah. So if you play bishop takes, queen takes, the knight on a5 is hanging, right? So black can't play that. I mean, I guess they can go a bit crazy, but yeah, I mean, this looks like nonsense to me, right? So.
This does look like nonsense, yes.
Yeah. No worries, Cheesy. It's good that good for us to be thinking about these moves, you know, especially like what Patrick was saying there, like something again people don't do enough when they're analyzing their own games is you know, looking at maybe like bad moves or why did they not play those moves, right? That's another way we can learn.
Yeah.
Hello, Flat the Man. Hope you're doing well today.
That's also at least what I've been told is good to do when you're playing or when you're like analyzing games of stronger players, like GM games or whatever. Just asking yourself why a move was not played is sometimes just as useful as asking yourself why a move was played. Not that I personally have analyzed many Grandmaster games in my day, but I'm a bit too lazy for it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so a few lines being suggested. So yeah, like bishop takes, I guess this is I mean, is this an improvement? I guess you don't have queen before on this line, right? But I feel like this is still pretty good for white. I guess black is kind of threatening knight g4 here in some lines. No, it doesn't work. Right, we can just bring the bishop
You
back
can
to
maybe.
d4.
Yeah, no, maybe not. What if you take and then play queen d7 or something? Like take the knight and then.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to take this knight though, but I guess this is just winning cleanly, right? So
Maybe.
right, like
Maybe
rook
queen
queen
e7. Yeah. Never mind. That just defends everything.
Oh, I mean rook d1 and like black is out of moves, right? What do you do? Rook d8 here?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're eventually gonna play. What are you gonna play? I guess maybe rook g7 and f6 or something.
Yeah. It looks very grim. I think yeah, that's a good point, Fataman, that bishop f6 is bad. Yeah, I guess we don't have to play bishop f6, but with the queen on c5, bishop f6 is a lot less
Automod is being really weird. It says we can put that in any time. Plus could play bishop h6 was the message that's being held due to misogyny. I'm not sure what that exactly.
That's a weird one. Do you want to allow that one?
That's strange.
Yeah. No, I don't think we want to play bishop h6, right? We want to keep the king in I want to keep the king in on f8, right?
Yeah. So Diana's thinking for. I'm not sure why she's thinking. I'm not sure what else she could be playing.
Yeah, I guess I mean, she has a lot of time. It's fine.
Yeah, sure, but I guess I would think that it's like better to think when you know what your opponent's move is.
Yeah. I think bishop takes c4 and then taking on e5 looks really strong, but so.
Or is she thinking maybe of f takes right away? Like, is this a thing? I don't know.
Yeah, some JC was saying in the chat about this earlier. I forgot to look at it. Sorry about that. So yeah, bishop takes, taking here. I guess the king has to take. That's
I mean, I could imagine that the king can't take this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bishop here. Sorry.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, okay, but even.
I guess this is.
Maybe you play rook f2 first.
Yeah.
No, after. Like. Before queen takes a5.
I mean, f takes e4 looks kind of crazy, or f takes e5. Look.
I mean, maybe you have this or something.
Oh, what about rook takes f7?
Like rook takes f7. Oh.
Like taking here and then. No, this is not.
Whew. Definitely spicy positions.
So
maybe we're a little bit hasty to discard it, but
yeah. I mean, I thought that this one was pretty clear that white was winning, but yeah, maybe f takes e4.
That's never stopped Diana before from going for the ambitious move.
You have to take on e2. Is there any like taking here probably is nonsense as well, right? Like you can just transpose into this one, right? So, which we already said was bad for black, right?
Yeah.
After this check.
Yeah, this looks really good.
Yeah. Well, even so many options here, right?
You don't even have
the
to.
Rooks, bring the rook. Yeah. Oh, that was a good instinct, JC. I didn't really think about that one. It's a bad trap when you're analyzing a position to just start assuming things, right? That's when you start overlooking moves, right? So really nice, really nicely spotted.
And you can definitely tell, like,
Um,
by the fact that Yana's thinking for a while here, that
yeah,
that's probably what she wants to play. Like she's probably aching to
yeah,
play it. Let's see
yeah.
if she goes
Uh,
for it.
yeah, Ken, we know that Stockfish can solve the position, but it's a bit boring for us to just read off the Stockfish lines, okay? So that's why we're not doing that. And even if Stockfish says that it's equal, then I mean, look at the position. Like practically speaking, that position is not equal at all, right? At all. Like trying to play that over the board is very difficult, I think. So
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I mean, okay, the secret's out. I am Stockfish, but you know, I'm not allowed to use my full power when I'm playing over the board because I can't embarrass other players like that. It wouldn't be very
And
fair.
that would be
Um,
unfair indeed.
yeah. I mean, the engine might say it's equal, whatever. Like, we're not really concerned what the engine is saying right now. I think everyone here would gladly take the white pieces every day of the week, even if the computer says 0-0, right? So, unless we're missing like some perpetual trick that black has, I guess. Um, yeah. So
What
I'm not
is
sure.
what is this electronic voice I hear, but the boy isn't moving his mouth? Well, I have many talents. I'm a ventriloquist, among other things.
Yeah,
So
ventriloquist. Very strong ventriloquist.
yes,
2600 ventriloquist.
exactly. I can have this loop
Yeah.
person inside of me. It's my alter ego.
Alter ego. Who plays over the board.
Yes, exactly. I'm the online version. I'm the online version. You're the offline version. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, so Waterford, that's what we're trying to kind of work out at the moment. That we thought that this was a pretty clean line for white, and then I'm not sure, maybe we don't have to play bishop at f6 straight away. Maybe we can just play rook d1 or queen here or something.
Yeah.
We thought this is a pretty clean line for white. Like black's position looks very sad. And white has like all the play, right? So the bishop is a king of the world. The rooks are strong. Black's pieces are uncoordinated. So all right, thanks, Dermot. See you. We might not be online when you come back. So
Yeah. See
if
you,
so, have
Dermot.
a good day. Yeah. So we thought this line was pretty good for white, but now we're kind of thinking about, because we weren't really expecting bishop takes, right? We were expecting knight takes and
Yeah.
this kind of thing to happen.
I'm surprised that
So
you went for
bishop
bishop
takes is what was played.
I don't quite understand how you come
Yeah.
up with bishop takes, like as an improvement over knight takes.
Yeah.
Like I can only ever see it. Maybe she's saying we trade pieces and then the mating attack will be
Yeah.
weaker or something, but
But
I'm not sure if
I
that's
think
true.
this is like, yeah, maybe everybody's overlooked this move, except JC, who suggested it ages ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pawn takes d5 is like, it's definitely a move I could see Diana playing,
Absolutely.
but it looks very, very complicated. So, and if there's any time in the game to invest some time, now is the time to think about this move.
Yeah, for sure.
Though Diana is not the best calculator, so maybe she'll just play it and see what happens.
Yeah, although I mean, if she feels like the other move is, if she can't quite calculate everything, of course the other line's a bit safer.
Yeah, I would probably play the other line.
Yeah.
Unless I could calculate something very concrete after.
You look a bit
taking,
silly if you do it and it doesn't work.
Yeah. No one's worried about looking silly at the chessboard. I mean, we're playing chess,
Yeah.
No, I think bishop takes, knight takes here is just a nice advantage for white, even though some people were saying it's equal, but like this to me this looks very advantageous for white, this position.
Yeah, it
Like,
looks
I'll gladly
quite
take this
nice.
position against anybody. Like, so we're just we're just looking at politics now. So so the only kind of moves here, I guess, they're taking on e2 and taking on e5, and then there's also some variations where we're going to give this check as well, right? So
Hmm.
um but I think like what was the position we analyzed after bishop takes, knight takes? Like, we kind of looked at this one a little bit, right? Yeah, previously. And we kind
Yeah,
of thought this was just very strong for.
yeah, this looks really nice. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
you can
like, the
just
rooks are
play
just. Yeah,
bishop g5 or rook d1
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. I mean, the queen can come in here. Okay, like this check, king here, here, this check. I mean, this is just. Oh no, the king can come here, but yeah, this looks so strong already.
Yeah.
Like
Now you can maybe just
yeah,
double rook
rook
somewhere
d1
and
here,
then.
and like you're out of moves, buddy.
I actually here you can play
Uh,
queen b6 check and then trade off queens.
oh, you can, yeah. So maybe you have to go rook d1. Hmm.
But okay, I mean, even if you trade off queens, you're still.
King h1.
It doesn't.
King h1, and now black has no moves. Because if you go queen here, I have checkmate.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. Very complicated position here, and again, like, some good points were being made, I think, by ChessBS about, like, we don't necessarily have to play bishop f6 check, right? So
What did you miss, Paul 184? What was the last thing you saw? I think you probably didn't miss much. I mean, there were only like 2 moves
yeah.
in the last.
Oh, that's a very good point there with Ken just made, that, in all these lines where white goes bishop f6, like, black can't just go king g8, but I mean, we'd never take this rook on h8, right? We just play
Yeah,
like
no,
h5 or
definitely
something.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I don't think we're worried about b5. Like, the queen will just come over here anyway, so
Yeah, if we can ever, I mean, as long as the bishop's on f6, there's always dangers of
yeah.
the mating nets.
Yeah, Paul, we'll just do a little quick recap. So, Diana's bone played queen c7, queen a4, and then king e7, which we were kind of discussing, but we weren't really so sure what we thought about it. Diana castled immediately. Knight a5, which we thought was a pretty good idea for black. We thought black was doing well here, but then we realized that f4 is very powerful because of this bishop g5 check that white's threatening. So, for example, we thought knight takes would happen. Bishop takes happened in the game, but we thought knight takes, something like this. They can't do this, but let's say knight takes here. We have this bishop check, and then king f8, and not so sure how to continue from here. Maybe just rook d1, but this is what we thought would happen. And then in the game we had bishop takes. So Diana is now calculating. Well, we think she's calculating pawn takes e5.
I'm actually not a friend of how she's using her time now. I think it was good to use a bit of time, but now I'm getting like she's got 28 minutes left.
How much time has she used on this move?
Like just about 20 minutes. Well, just under 20 minutes.
Yeah, you gonna. It's time to start making a move, I think.
Yeah, especially because both look really good. I think that's probably what she thinks as well, that both look good. I guess maybe she thinks that f4 might just be an immediate win somehow. If she, or like f takes e5, I mean.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, maybe, but
yeah,
we wouldn't want. I don't think the complications are over, and you still have 24 moves to make to time control. So.
Yeah. I think as a spectator or a commentator, I want to see f takes e5. But
yeah, for sure.
If I was playing this position, I would just play bishop takes bishop.
yeah, absolutely.
And just have a try and try to claim I'm ahead. But maybe there's some engine defense for black here. But the king on e7 looks really silly now after all this.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think Diana Diana capitalized on this like her opponents did in the previous rounds, which is nice to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it looks like we might not see the next move anymore because, or you can stay on. I don't know because I'll have to go teach now.
Okay, I can stay on for like another 40 minutes, but I won't be able to end the stream, right? So
Right. Maybe just message
I'm not
me
sure how that would work.
on. You message me on Facebook.
Yeah. I don't know what the rules are with Twitch. Like, let's say you turn the camera off, uh, and then I leave. Is the stream still allowed to run if no one is doing anything? Like, if the board is just moving, is that allowed? Or
Oh, I mean, they have the computer championships. I think that would be allowed, but
yeah, but that's slightly different, right? I guess we're
Aye.
just broadcasting something from another place. I don't know what the rules are.
No, I'm pretty sure it's
If anyone in the
gonna be
chat knows,
But we could
let us
also,
know,
I
'cause
mean,
that would be
probably know what you would watch it anyway. We could maybe I'll just
Yeah.
maybe host the official stream.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you're able to do that, that's great. But if you have to go somewhere and leave, the
No, I
stream
don't
on,
have to
it's
go.
fine.
I just have to. I don't have to go. I just have to like teach online.
Ah, okay, okay.
So I'll just have my laptop next to here.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah. So, I can keep going for another 40 minutes, and then after that I'll have to leave, and you can just and I'll send you a text then, and you can just end the
okay,
stream.
brilliant. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. Make sure you turn the camera source off on the OBS.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll,
And hopefully nothing breaks. If anything breaks, guys, I won't be able to fix it. So hopefully it's okay.
Yeah, you can just message me as well. I'll
Yeah.
probably be able to see. I can just turn my thing around if you say something.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to keep the Discord call going as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just mute yourself.
I'll mute myself and well, actually, I guess I'll just unplug the mic.
Yeah.
And that should be good. All right, so I'll leave you there.
Okay. Thanks very much. I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Maybe I'll just pop in later if you just before you end or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually need to get the live board up as well now, so I can actually put the moves in.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'll see you later, and I'll.
Oh wait. So actually, something happened.
Yeah. I'm just getting.
Bishop takes. Knight takes. F takes, and knight takes e5 happened.
Okay, so we have some moves. So she did go for this line we thought she would.
Yeah.
Knight takes. We have on the board, and I
guess you were thinking bishop g5 and good position. Okay, but okay, I'll leave you. And
yeah.
Okay, see you next time, everybody. Or actually, I guess I'll have to be back to end the stream later. So
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go for another 40 minutes, and then I have to go, unfortunately. But
okay, bye. Yeah. Okay. See you later then.
See ya. Yeah, don't worry, Flat the Man. I have my team set from yesterday. And yeah, I mean, it might say this position is an engine draw, but you know, I don't think so at all. Like, practically speaking. Okay, we have bishop check and king f8 on the board as well now. For white, I mean, anyone in the chat here want to take the black pieces for this position? I think everyone would want to play with white here. You know, a pretty strong move. I think bishop f6 is also fine to play. I'm black here, I think. Like, the pieces are not coordinated at all. This d6 pawn has a massive target on its head, and our bishop is incredibly strong, so I mean, no solid concrete advantage, I think, is a ridiculous thing to say. Like, of course, you have a massive advantage here playing over the board. Like, you know, like the psychological advantage of this position is also very strong. Like, it's really easy to go wrong here with black. Like, they're not super GMs, like, so it's really easy to play here with white. Like, you can play many moves. Like, black is going to be in a lot of positions where I would rather eat a whole jar of mustard than play with the black here. Yeah, I mean, like, engine will defend perfectly all the time, right? So, um, okay, let's just chill the beans there, okay? I mean, I think maybe you can like, objectively say whatever black can hold here, but it's difficult to do over the board, for players like 2000 strength. So it's not an easy position to hold for black, like, so I mean, yeah, white can just keep improving the position. Like, you can play regular moves with black here, and I'm sure you'll be lost very quickly if you're not playing incredibly accurate here. These are the types of positions you want to be playing. Uh, you know, these are the types of positions I like to play anyway, especially when I'm preparing in the opening. If my opponent plays perfectly, fine, the position is equal, but there's so many chances for them to go wrong. It's very practically good for us, right? Instead of looking at like an engine evaluation, if we were to look at like a percentage to win, uh, in this position, practically speaking, I'd say white has a very high percentage to win this position. I don't know. I don't think I'd beat Magnus here. I think you could give me a queen up and I wouldn't beat Magnus. So it's uh it's the same when like I wouldn't beat Stockfish a queen up either. Like, so um so yeah, so we got this position. So now we kind of have to find something a bit more concrete for white, I guess. So the most obvious moves, I guess, are like bishop f6, rook a d1, rook b1. Um, this d6 pawn is obviously very weak, being on a dark square. We're not really too concerned about our c pawn, I guess, because if black ever starts getting adventurous with the queen, we'll just invade pretty easily. The rook on h8 is obviously like complete garbage, so that's a pretty significant plus for us. And the king is a little bit short on squares right now. I guess we don't want to allow king g7. Well, no, king g7 doesn't matter. Um, we never go king g7 here because you don't have. I mean, I guess you can go like rook g8, king g7, but it's not doing anything. Yeah, bringing the rook into the last game, I guess, is bringing the last piece into the game. This rook on a1 is probably like the most principled thing to do here. Use all the pieces when we're attacking. Um, yeah, I mean, let's just say after like rook a d1, not a lot of good moves for black here. I mean, black can't really ever come down and take the spawn. I mean, if the d pawn falls, this knight on e5 becomes very loose suddenly, and yeah, it's not great. Okay, Diana played bishop f6 in the game, which we thought she would do. And Chess BS, you can get the leprechaun hat by subscribing to the channel, and let me tell you, subscribing to the channel helps Diana so much. Helps support the channel, helps us make content for you guys, helps us keep going, supporting Diana's chess journey. And let me tell you this as well: if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription every month that you can use. And if you were so generous enough to use it on this channel, I'm sure Diana would be incredibly happy. So bishop f6, I guess rook g8. I mean, if you go king g8 here, which we were kind of looking at earlier, I guess I can just go like rook a d1 anyway. But we have rook g8 on the board, which we thought we do. And now I think white can just go rook a d1. And yeah, it looks very nice for white. I guess the point of bishop f6 is that queen b4 comes with tempi now because the pawn is pinned. But let's say if queen b4, like king e8, rook d8 here. This might be an idea for black. I mean, like people were saying earlier, which I thought was a very good point. Like, there's no need to play bishop f6 straight away, but I don't think it's bad either. Like, you can just go, yeah, like queen a3, queen b4. Maybe I can play rook d1, and yeah, black's position looks pretty grim. I guess now the only problem is that like knight d7, knight g4 are becoming with tempi. So yeah, I mean, if black can unravel here, then they're probably doing okay. I guess e5, like once this knight moves, I guess e5 is always going to be a point. So like, let's say like queen b4, knight here. I guess knight here, you're threatening this check. So that's an important one. Like for example, if e5 here, you just give this check, stop everything off, and black should probably get the pawn back later, but a little bit risky. Maybe not actually. Maybe this is not a good idea for black to do.
ChessBS is now a darling.
Thank you so much. A massive 179 gift subs in the channel. That is insane. What do we think? Yeah, some of these lines. So might have been a pretty good argument to not play d5, or sorry, to not play bishop f6, right? Because now this knight g4 stuff is going to be kind of annoying. Yeah, and on the plus side anyway, I guess it's pretty difficult for white to kind of lose here unless they fall for some tactic. I guess we have given up a pawn, but our bishop is very strong on f6. Unfortunately, you need to be subscribed for 2 months to get the hat ChessBS. I didn't read the terms and conditions. Looks like there. So yeah. Yeah. So any ideas how white can continue here? Well, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules, Chess. That's just how it goes sometimes, you know? Sometimes you castle, sometimes you get checkmated, you know? Unravel here. So if, for example, if like rook a d1, knight d7. That's great to hear, Waterford. Diana is a great coach. I mean, me and her, we teach in a lot of the same places. Especially she's not going to be in Dublin next year, but when she moved up to Dublin, I tried to introduce her to as much much people as possible because she's a very good player, very good teacher. So that's really nice to hear. As a chess coach, it's the best thing you can hear, right? That my students improving or my students won a competition. This is really nice. Yeah, so 97, and yeah, I guess we'll come back to g5, and yeah, maybe bishop f6 is just not a good move, like we've been saying. And then I guess, yeah, maybe black can start with knight c5 or rook c8 here. Queen is on b4 in the game. Okay. So queen b4 was played in the game, which we thought we would see. Yeah, and now if knight b7, sorry, knight d7. Yeah, I guess again white is threatened. Black is going for these checks again and is on the bishop, so yeah, we have queen b4 on the board now. We were just analyzing rook d1, guys. Yeah, so queen c5 and black is probably. I mean, black ever swaps queens here, then yes, black is staying fine. It'll take them a little bit to get the rook on g8 back into the game, but it should be okay. Yeah, I think maybe bishop f6 was a little hasty, like people were saying. Maybe just rook ad1 was much better. Because now 97, like we have some moves, right? We're not so worried about exchanging this the bishop, right? So yeah, maybe this was a slight inaccuracy. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So yeah. Of course, black has to deal with this knight on e5. 97 makes the most sense. Can't go queen c5 just yet, but next move we'll be able to go queen c5. I guess black can also play rook e8, but don't really see the reason to play rook e8. If rook e8, what is white doing? Yeah, I guess white can just go back to bishop g5, right? And then 97 doesn't come with as much sting. So I'm not saying this is a good move for black, I'm just saying, we're just having a look at it. Today, so he's not on the camera at the moment. Yeah, I mean 97 probably is the only move that keeps black in the game, but it's still, it's still important to see anything else, right? I mean, earlier when we were analyzing, we missed f takes e5, right? And after we have a look at it, we realize it's quite a strong move. Black played knight e3. Okay. Okay. Don't think anyone was looking at knight d3. Interesting move, let's say. Not super sure what the idea is. Trying to play queen c5 check again. How can we play against knight e3? I don't think this is losing on the spot unless I'm missing something, but it doesn't look correct anyway. Yeah, this looks very strange from black. I don't really get knight d3 at all. Okay, I don't see how queen b3 is winning. Queen b3, black probably just comes back to e5, right? And then... So let's say queen b3. Yeah, knight e3 is such a strange move. Here is black. We can obviously bring a rook out. So let's say black just comes back to e5. I mean, this is just a bit of a moral victory for us, right? if knight 95, now I guess we can go like rook d1 and knight d7 or rook d1 knight d7. We can probably just go bishop g5, and now our queen and rook are looking at f7 quite nicely. So that must be a bit of a moral victory for us. Yeah, knight c5 I guess is the other idea. Trying to get to d7 the really long way around. Yeah, bishop e7 check is also working there probably. And then rook takes, and this rook is hanging at the end of it. Yeah, so let's say knight c5. I guess we'll come into d5. Yeah, now black doesn't really have much opportunity to be like swapping queens here. Yeah, strange. Okay, we have queen b3 in the game, so that's nice. Queen b3 in the game. Yeah, any other moves we could look at for black? I guess it's really only knight c5. I mean, queen c5. I guess we can just pull the bishop back. It doesn't really, this doesn't accomplish much, right? The queen has to come back to c7. Uh, yeah, I mean, we can probably even just move our king. Like, moving the king is probably just fine as well. Well, moving the king, they can do this, right? So, yeah, just bringing this back, and yeah, there's always this tactic at the end, right? A bit like rook here. Oh, no, yeah, sorry, I thought the knight could come to f5. Very silly. Yeah, this is just winning, right? So, well, I guess you can go knight f4. Must be nonsense. Not quite yet. Queen d4 was better. Yeah, we didn't look at queen d4 actually. Queen d4 also looks pretty good. I thought queen d4 wasn't good because of queen c5, but maybe this is just fine for some reason. So let's say we play like, let's say we play like rook b1. Because like this can't be good for black. Play like, yeah, this is hanging, rook f3 is happening. That can't be good for black. You can just go back to e5. Well, no, sorry. What am I talking about? You can just do this. Yeah, rook ab1 looks good here, I guess. If you play rook here, I will play rook f3. Yay. You go rook c8. c8, 95. Um, yeah, if we can play bishop here, that would be pretty nice, but it's a little tricky. Yeah, bishop f6 earlier, I think, was definitely incorrect, but yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, 93, I don't understand at all. I think maybe queen d4 was much better, actually. At first glance, it doesn't look great because you have queen c5, but the knight actually is really short on squares if black ever captures. So hold on a sec. Say we go rook b1, takes rook here. No, I don't even need to go after this knight, right? I just capture here and f7 is falling and yeah, this is bad. Well, how do I get these arrows to go away? There you go. Yeah. So yeah, I think probably Diana didn't play queen d4 because of queen c5, but like rook ab1 here looks pretty good, and if like b5. Rook f3, and yeah, I mean, can you save this knight? Am I missing something here? I mean, yeah, the knight is hanging. Yeah, looks winning for white there. Yeah, so if not queen c5, then what else can we play? Like, does the knight just have to come back to c5 or e5? Then we just get to play like a rook d. Like, how do you save this d pawn here? Yeah, I agree, Einstein. That's what looks good initially, right? But in this position after. Oh, thank you so much for the raid, Pal and Yashar. Welcome. Uh, hope you guys are having a good day. Unfortunately, Diana is playing her game at the moment. We're doing some commentary, myself and Patrick. But Patrick had to go a bit early there. I'm gonna have to leave soon in about 15 minutes as well. Unfortunately, Diana decided today to have a very long game. Okay, so we have some more moves in the game. So uh, after queen b3, black played rook e8. Uh, thanks for giving them a shout out, Dermot. Hope you guys had a great stream. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so rook e8 was played in the game. And how should black continue? Yeah, I think as well, after you said that, Dermot, I think queen d4 definitely looked much stronger than queen b3. Because like queen c5 just seems to not work. So um sorry, so yeah, this is the position we have in the game after rook e8. So rook e8. Yeah, bishop queen h6 would be like the dream, right? So I guess that's also another point of queen d4 is that you have this kind of sneaky idea of queen e3, right? Um so if we play bishop g5 here. I mean, I guess we're threatening, like, I mean, the knight can just come back, right? It's not the end of the world. Yeah, I think probably not. Yeah, rook e8 probably is okay. I mean, the knight is just going to come back to it's just going to retreat, right? So if we play like here, knight e4, just check, king g4, and this is fine, I think. I guess we can play bishop f4, but yeah, not a big deal, I think. I mean, I guess getting to give this check and maybe going like rook b1 is something. Because like, you know, we're getting a bit of play, I guess, but yeah, it's a bit tricky. Bishop g5 does look interesting though. Um, is there anything better than just bringing the knight back? I guess. Okay, let's see what happens if you just take this pawn. If you're very greedy. Um, does rook f7 work? Rook f7, queen takes f7, queen here. I guess I can just go knight f4. Or even just, I can just, oh, actually it doesn't work at all, right? Because I can take and then give you checkmate. So that doesn't work at all. Interesting thing with knight f7. The knight on d3, suddenly you have this little trick at the end of all these rook takes f7 lines. So maybe that's why black played knight d3. But maybe black can just capture here on g5 or on e4. Sorry, on e4. And like if this check, the king will just come to e8, and we can't come to e1. I guess you can come to f3. I guess it's allowed. But if you come to f3, then you don't have rook e1 anymore. So somehow black is surviving here. Do we have anything better than bishop g5? Yeah, maybe queen b3, which wasn't a good move. I'd much rather the queen be on d4. E5 is not doing much. Kind of Einstein-y. I mean, people definitely like if you were looking at the game yesterday, uh, there was a position where Diana could have played g6 at some point, and I think very little players in the world are finding that move over the board. It looked incredibly difficult to see. And welcome to the stream, Napiv. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, I mean, like at my level, at like around 2000, like you definitely overlook stuff, but a lot of it is like finding some candidate moves and calculating them deeply is kind of where I'm at anyway. I'm sure Diana doesn't really like to calculate that much. So yeah. I think there is a command for links to the games. I'm not so sure. But they are on all the major chess websites, Chess24, Elite Chess, all up on there if you want to find them. Yeah, so rook e8 is probably a pretty good move, and suddenly we go 2 pawns down. It becomes very difficult for us to kind of get out of this, right? We're kind of all in at that point, right? We have to. Okay, rook f3 was played in the game. Rook f3, and yeah, I guess black can just come back to e5. It's my thought. I mean, I guess rook f1 is kind of scary now. Yeah, maybe rook f1 is an idea. And if you come to c4, that's not an idea. You're getting queen takes, king takes, give this a check. Or give this check, I guess, is better. Probably not winning immediately, though. Well, maybe this check. This looks crazy. Well, that doesn't work because of this, right? Black getting out of this somehow? No way. That is kind of nuts. Maybe I'm gone down a bit of a fantasy line there, but yeah, maybe you can play queen takes here. I'm not so sure. Got to stop the king coming this way anyway. I mean, if king e6, It's probably better to just go bishop here straight away, right? So that's the correct idea, right? So rook f3, knight c5 in the game. Queen c4, I guess, is an idea. Queen d5, also an idea. Maybe queen d5 and trying to come to g5 and h6. That also might be an idea. Yeah, well, queen g5, queen d5, and black just capture on e4. Is it all starting to unravel? Queen d5 was played in the game. Okay. Uh, knight takes. And let's say we play bishop d4. I mean, I would like to play something like rook b1 and try get it in here, but we don't have time. Right? And the knight defends everything. I guess you can play here and then p4. We're just a pawn down, right? We're 2 pawns down. Um, knight takes e4. Okay, in the game we have knight takes b4, bishop d4 played. So maybe just rook f1 next. Don't think black can get away with like f5 at any point. That seems a bit insane to me. What's wrong with knight takes e4? Rook b1. Well, if rook b1, not queen c6, queen c5 instead, right? So I don't think that worked. I think queen c7, queen c5 check is better than queen c7. I think, or sorry, queen c6. I guess f4 is like f5 is an idea. My first instinct is that this is a bit loose. But maybe it's okay. This seems kind of loose to me, but I guess now the rook can come to G. No, the rook can never come to G7. Like these pawns are gonna blow everything up. Um, yeah, I guess black is gonna just swap queens with queen f7. Interesting position. Okay, if f5, can we go g4 straight away? So, oh, that's a good point actually. If you go rook a f1 and queen f7, you can play rook takes here. And then like, yeah, I guess. Sorry, not king there. King. Oh, king has to come here and you collect the knight. Okay, maybe this is okay for white then. So we play rook a f1 first to stop queen f7. And now we're gonna go g4, right? So, oh, maybe there's just knight here. Sorry, knight d2. Knight d2. Rook takes. Pawn takes. Rook takes. king here. Rook check, king here, bishop check. And then we get to collect everything, right? I guess they have rook f7, so take this and then so like I'd like to keep my bishop on the board. Yeah, I don't think you can go 92 here. I don't like f5. F5 feels like it invites so many tactics for white, but maybe there's a way out of it. So like f5 and let's say rook af1 first. Knight c5 seems like a nothing move. Like now you're just threatening rook takes f5, right? So like queen d7 and now g4 and I don't know. I think you're just gonna move it to f1, right? And just straight away look at this f5 pawn. So I don't know. I don't think f5 is a good move. I mean, maybe there's some miracle way to defend, but I'm not so sure. So now, of course, this isn't working. I mean, we can always give the rook for 2 pawns, though, but that doesn't make sense. I mean, now I'm thinking this rook on g8 might be loose if we can ever get the king to move. So how can we get the king to move? Yeah, I think actually like this is just this rook is suddenly like really loose in loads of lines, right? If we can ever get the king to move. But how can we get the king to move here? Like well, h5 probably not. As well if this actually comes with check, right? So let's say they play like a nothing move. If we ever take, they take with check, right? And then the rook they have a tempi on us, right? So I don't think they want that to happen though, but I think yeah, f5 just inviting a lot of needless complication. I still like White's position. White's position seems I mean if black can survive, black will win, but Diana with 10 minutes, her opponent with 15. So not the end of the world. There's definitely some points. Yeah, I guess if you play rook e7 first, my chess 51 suggests in the chat there. We play rook e7 first. This kind of holds a lot, right? We can put the rook to, well, not straight away, but if we ever need to defend d6, this is holding both f7 and b7. You know, now like rook a f1, rook a b1 don't have as much sting anymore. And if we play rook e1 here, is f5 forced? No, the knight can just move, right? So let's say knight d2. If I take here, you could take with intermezzo. So that's probably bad. And if I play rook here, maybe this is okay. Maybe maybe you just can never go knight d2 in any of these lines. Yeah, knight d2 in all these variations is bad for black. The knight is too far away from the king, and this rook on g8 is doing nothing. And if f5, then we can probably just go rook af1 again. No, now they have knight d2, right? So now they have knight d2 because it's not our move anymore. Queen c6. Yeah, queen c6, good move. Queen c6. There's no capture in rook e3. Queen c6, we take rook b1. I guess if we're doing this, no, we can't go rook d1 because knight d2. Very, I don't think bishop f6 was losing. I mean, like, if black is playing knight e3 here and doing fine, then I think maybe we didn't have that much to begin with. But also, I think here, queen d4 was much better. So there's a few points where I think both players didn't play perfectly, but, that's just chess, right? Like, they're not machines. Um, yeah, so rook e7 was played in the game. And now Dana has a pretty tough choice here, what to do. Yeah, I presume black is just holding everything together now. And it'll take a little bit of time, but the rook on g8 will get out eventually. What if rook e3? Rook e3. I guess queen c6 again. I mean, at least in this variation I have rook b1. Rook takes queen here. This is interesting, but I presume it's not very good. This doesn't feel correct to do, but maybe it's working because its rook is stuck on g8, and the king is now really open. I mean, I guess just like queen here, right? Like our rook on a1 is still sitting at home. That's an interesting line for sure, but yeah. So I have rook here, knight d2. This is nothing, right? We go rook takes. Yeah, this is nothing. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, rook e7 is probably just holding everything together, and Diana's getting very low on time now, and she's down 2 pawns. So bishop e3. Interesting idea. Bishop e3. I mean, the king is probably pretty safe on e8, right? So, like, if we give this check, the king comes to e8, and everything's holding together, right? What's the idea of bishop e3? Thank you very much for the follow, Sky 2011. Okay, in the game we have rook e3. Yeah, and now I think we were saying queen c6 is a strong move. I guess we can move our queen to a5 or back to b3, but it doesn't seem very good. Like if queen b3, guess there's still a lot of organizing to do for black here, right? Like this position is not so simple, I think. Maybe I'm being a little harsh on both players. Like if queen c6, obviously if we take it's not so good, but like let's say we just come back. What is black playing here after queen b3? Um King e8 looks a bit weird. I guess maybe just b5. And yeah, I mean white doesn't have much. I mean, but this rook on g8 is still really bad, so interesting idea. Um Really unfortunate that I have to go right now, guys. I didn't realize Patrick had to leave early today as well too. I wasn't planning to stay the whole stream. Um, so I'm gonna leave it there. I think general consensus in this position is that white definitely had some chances. Maybe a few inaccuracies like bishop f6, queen b3. Maybe they weren't so strong. I'm sure at the start of the stream tomorrow, we'll have a little review of the game. We'll, of course, do our usual thing. When the game is over and we're analyzing it, we'll turn the engine on and have a look at what's going on. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave it there for today. I'm not sure if Patrick is going to turn the stream off or what's the story. But I have to go teach a class right now, so I will be gone. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the stream today, guys. A little bit shorter than normal. I think there should be some links in the chat. The games are on Lichess. They're also on Chess24. Thank you, Dermot, for posting the stuff. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully same time again, which is time. And yeah, hopefully see you there. And for round 6. I mean, maybe there's a rest day tomorrow. Actually, maybe there's a rest day on Sunday. I'm not so sure of the schedule, but there's a game on. We'll be here. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna head and I'm gonna text Patrick and he can sort out the stream, guys. So I'll see you. Thanks very much and have a great day.
right.
Okay, guys. Oh, the camera's frozen again. I'm back for a second. I'll have to go again in a minute. But let's just quickly check in how Diana's doing. Let's just see her real quick. I think I was sort of watching it out of the corner of my eye while teaching, but it looked for a second like Diana was losing and then like she was winning again. I guess nobody's been updating the analysis board, so let's just... Oof, the laptop is too slow. So we're gonna take me the 10 minutes I have just to get it to show the analysis board in the correct position. So, okay, where were we? Move 26, rook e3. That's where we stayed. Then knight c5 was played. Rook a to e1. Knight to e6. Bishop to f6. Rook to e8. Queen to g5. Yeah, okay, that would be mate. Okay, fine. Queen to g5. Queen to c5. Queen to h6 check. Knight to f6. Knight to g7, I mean. Then bishop to d4 takes, and I think here is where Diana missed something. I think here she could have taken with the queen instead of playing what she played and allowing this. Where after king f2 Her opponent went rook to e6. And after bishop d4, g5. Interesting. Queen takes g5. Knight e8. Queen to d5. Rook e to g6. Captures, captures. Oh, actually, maybe that's not what you went for. Hold on a second. I do not have a mouse right now. Actually, let me get one. Real quick. Feeling a bit lonely right now that Luke isn't there anymore. So how'd the game go? King e3 she played. King e3. And check. Oh no, sorry. Other rook gave a check. King went up, rook went up. King d5, and the pawn was captured. Interesting. So, because I don't have any time to analyze, I'll just quickly turn on the computer and see what it says. Cam froze again. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just reset it for a second. And the camera is not being recognized anymore for some reason. It's even... Okay, now we're back, I guess, I think. Okay, can see me now. That's good. Yeah, so computer says it's a draw, but I mean, whew, this looks like Diana's going to have to suffer a little bit. These pawns look a bit dangerous, and I mean, black will probably not be able to lose this, I would imagine. We're all good. Yeah, time control reached. Okay, move 40. And king to c6 was played. Oops, went out of the board there. King to c6 was played. I mean, not sure I'm a massive fan of this move, because now we can't, let's say after rook g6, we can't capture this pawn because there's this check and we lose the queen. Maybe better would have been king to c4, I could imagine. But okay, maybe I'm wrong about this. Not sure what the point was of this move. Anyway, how's everybody doing in chat? Queen a8 and king d7. So you're saying she's going for the cheekiness. Well, I mean, I guess the king always has moves, but there might be some tricks here. You're right. If the king goes into... Oh, well, actually, that's not possible because we have bishop there. Never mind me. So you think she's having some aggressive intentions, which, I mean, definitely might be a thing she's thinking about. So maybe, I guess, black does have some things to be careful about. I mean, aggressive in the sense that, you know, a good offense is the best defense. So to just keep black from doing whatever they want with the pawns on the king side, which is a bit threatening for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go again in a second. I'm gonna have another class to teach. I'll stay for maybe 2 more minutes until I have to go. Do you guys want me to leave the stream on and then come back after an hour and just look in, or should I turn off the stream and just rate the official one? If you just want to see the live board, I guess that's not really, doesn't really have a point, because you can just follow the live board yourselves. You can follow the boards here. I'll just post it in, yeah, I think so too. I'll just give you the link. You can watch the games there. I think it's board 56. Well, I'm not sure what kind of background music I can put on, because I don't want to get her a copyright strike. We can get more raids. That's a good point, I suppose. We can get more raids. I was feeling very anxious there for a second, like I was just watching the game out of the corner of my eye, and I was getting nervous when I just had the engine on and it just saw that it said -3 at some point, and then I saw it said +3 again. Whew. Very nerve-wracking stuff. Oh, people are coming into my class. So actually, guys, I'll have to go. I'll just raid Raluca. I think she's doing the official stream here, so I'll just do that. Just see that I don't misspell her name. Skircha. Okay, so I'll just leave you guys with her. Maybe she'll cover Diana's game if you ask her to, for a second. And then I'll maybe see you later after the class if the game is still going, or maybe I'll come back with Diana to analyze. We'll see. No promises. We'll at least see you tomorrow again. So yeah, until then, for now, root for Diana. Maybe she can swindle something. Hope it goes well for her. And yeah, root for her. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I should remind myself to stop the broadcast after the raid is gone, because that's just how you do things. Okay, bye everyone. Have a good day.